Hello! Today, September 21st, it's World Alzheimer's Day, and September is World Alzheimer's Month. And to note this day, I want to say a few words about the significance of Alzheimer's and getting involved. Everyone knows about this serious neurodegenerative disorder of the brain, and there are a lot of efforts to help discover new treatments and for management and care. I would like to say a few words from several aspects. First, I am a daughter of a father who has passed away with Alzheimer's. My dad had due to diabetes and head trauma. Also, I'm a medical doctor and scientist and research new gene therapy treatments for Alzheimer's disease at Columbia University in the team of Dr. Jaco and Dr. Yasser Qureshi. In the lab of Tommy Vaughan, we research gene therapies using mouse models. And I know firsthand how many efforts go into conducting such clinical trials, how many mice are needed in treatments and experiments, and it's a very lengthy process. My sweetheart Lloyd's mom has been suffering from Alzheimer's since a long time. He's her caregiver with help of a caregiver, and this takes a lot of effort. And so, with the staggering number of people, this is a great burden for society and also for the loved ones. And I was thinking that several things are very important. First, of course, research and treatment, discovering of new treatments, and how can you get involved? For example, my sweetheart Lloyd and I do a fundraiser for the longest day sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association. And it is mandala and music in the section of arts and crafts. And because music and art are very therapeutic in brain disorders and in Alzheimer's and dementia, it has been shown that music can stimulate memories in dementia patients, and also it creates positive and happy feelings, and it could prevent dementia and Alzheimer's. And on June 21st, the longest day, we listen to classical music and drum mandalas, and we raise funds to help discover new treatments and for support and care for people affected with Alzheimer's. Drawing of mandalas is very therapeutic for healthy people and for people with Alzheimer's and dementia and stress and other brain disorders. Here are some of the beautiful mandalas that we have drawn over the years. This one is with watercolors from this year. Another mandala with watercolors from this year. And here is the acknowledgement for the Alzheimer's Association for our participation. We are very grateful for this opportunity to honor our loved ones, my dad and Lloyd's mom, and to do something enjoyable, listen to music and draw mandalas, and hopefully raise funds to fight this serious brain disorder. And next year, we plan to do this fundraiser again, and I encourage you to participate in our fundraiser. We also take part in the Walk Against Alzheimer's sometimes. So one is to participate in fundraising and in research, discovering of new treatments, but that is a lengthy process and the treatments are not 100% effective. So it's good also to have a very healthy lifestyle with proper diet, proper nutrition, enough exercise, sufficient sleep. For example, I know that my father had a very light sleep and he used to wake up a lot at night, and this is one of the factors that may affect Alzheimer's disease. And another factor, which I think is that when we conduct clinical trials, we have to evaluate the patients very carefully, and the trials have to be very personalized in order to develop better treatments. What do I mean? For example, in a clinical trial of depression that I participated in for 3 years as a primary research coordinator and sub-investigator, we were testing a drug that is also effective in reversing cognitive impairment and has some promise in Alzheimer's disease. And I'm very careful in asking the patients about their day, about their history, what they have done besides taking the drug. And besides administering the required rating scales for the clinical trials, such as MADRS, Montgomery-Åsberg Depression Rating Scale, and the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale, and asking for adverse events, I like to ask the patients what their daily routine is like. And I found out that the patients who do some physical activity, one of the patients was biking a lot, another patient liked hot yoga, another patient did exercise. They showed very big improvement in the MADRS score, in their cognition, whereas the patients that just took the medication did not show such improvement. And so I know this is a lot of information, but it's good if we have this information so that in the end we can analyze it with all of the data from the rating scales and have a better idea which patients improve. And then when we prescribe the drug, we can make a note of this. I know it's a lot of information, but we say that clinical trials are controlled experiments, and the factors such as exercise we have to control for. And in order to compare the drug in all patients, they have to be either in identical conditions with identical diet, identical lifestyle, or for us to account for any differences in the lifestyle, habits, diet, and so on. So this is another factor that I think is important in Alzheimer's. And I think also it's important to limit alcohol, which is very noxious for the brain, in my opinion, and to read and to avoid stress. And so with these thoughts about Alzheimer's disease and dementia, I would like to say that I'm very hopeful that with efforts we can understand more about this disorder and primarily prevent it and hopefully discover new treatments. Thank you very much for your attention.